This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Liar. That's all I have to say. I did find out from our new location, it's going to take me, even though it's closer, a lot closer, the traffic is so bad that I'm going to have to leave like 15 minutes earlier. Honestly, God, at 394, man, that thing is unbelievable. I was just telling these guys, and God bless you, you do what you do, but you get in the right lane, you're doing 30. You get in the left lane, you're doing 90. That's just how it is. And letting you in ain't happening.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
No, especially the closer you get to the Lowry Hill Tunnel, the less likely people are to let you in.
I go through that every day after this show when I drive over to the Hubbard offices. That exit into the Lowry Tunnel is the worst thing imaginable.
Is it that bad? I mean, I've heard, because I used to go through it all the time, going over, when I worked at Hubbard way back in the day, or, I went from Minneapolis to St. Paul or whatever, but I've heard it's just gotten terrible. So that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, either it's backed up and you're waiting, like going bumper to bumper for like a mile and a half, 2 miles, or you have to do the slow patrol and there's a gap, seize the gap.
Oh, jump in there.
And then you get a couple horns and then everybody's fine.
Yeah, well, then you get the people that just come to a complete stop and just wait for somebody to let them in. Like, come on.
Well, that's true. But we all lived through it. But, the late start is because of me, because I'm taking a load over every morning just to make sure that it doesn't pile up. And, so when the movers come, they can just move and everything will be good. We're just moving to a smaller house is all we're doing. It's not that big a deal, but I just, like I said, I mistimed it because I thought, well, no big deal. I got to go up Highway 100. So that's got to be the same as 394. Right. Nope. Not even close to the same.
Well, that's the beauty about this. It's a podcast. There's no hard start time, no hard end time. If anybody's got a problem with that, they can take it up with Tevin.
Exactly. Take it up with Tevin, damn it.
Unless you're big.
Yeah, unless you're a very big, muscular person, then stay away from me. No, speaking of that, by the way, speaking of the podcast business as opposed to the radio business, our great friend Brittany, I think I can announce this, right? It was announced.
Yes.
Yeah.
She got the job over at My Talk, which is, I talked to her last night for quite some time, and I thought she was going to burst into tears about 5 times because I've known her since she was 17 years old over at the Q. And then she was on my morning show at 21, got the job on the morning show at 21 and quit. You know why, though? She hated the place, which I understand. So I ended up hating it too. But so Brittany, God bless you. She's been waiting for this job. And I will say this. When she left this show, Hubbard took care of her in a very, very good way. So thank you to everybody over at Hubbard. Because like I said, I've known Brittany since she was 17. And, I'm just very, very happy for her. She's got a partner that she just really likes. So I told her to give Tevin a buzz and book a time when they can both come in before the show. I think the show starts, does it start in July?
Yes, to my knowledge. So they're going to be taking over the slot that Lori and Julia had there for like 2 decades, like 20 something years.
21, I think.
And they're going to be stepping into that 3 to 6 time show slot. Her and Kendall Mark,
that's right. That's what
Kendall Mark's done like Fox Sports North back in the day, Fox 9, a lot of news, and then co-host on the Jason Show in the morning. So naturally Jason does the morning show over at My Talk. Crazy to think that both incredibly talented people, they want to be a part of the My Talk team. So fantastic.
It is wonderful.
And Brittany's going to be kind of spearheading that, which is awesome.
That morning show, she's on the TV show too, isn't she?
Yes.
That's nationally syndicated, if I know right.
Yeah, Kendall is on there with Jason, and then that show, their first one is July 8th.
July 8th, that's what I thought. Yeah, she waited a day after my anniversary, so
Yeah. Is Kendall leaving? It looks like she left or is leaving the Jason show, you said?
No, I don't know about that.
I don't either.
Frankly, I'm not entirely sure. I only met her very briefly, so I didn't get the full spiel on how everything's going to work. I just know she is.
AJ, I told you to take all those away because he doesn't know he's leaving.
Well, no, just because
damn it,
I did a quick Google of her name and it said something along the lines of like she announced that she's leaving Fox 9 and the Jason Show.
Oh, she is leaving the Jason Show.
And this is according to her Instagram. So
But yeah, Brittany, God bless you. We love you, pal. Worked with her 3 different times and either told her to get the hell out or she quit, that whole deal, that whole situation. But yeah, I just I'm very, very happy for her. She's very excited. She said, look, I was on the KQ morning show and I'm 21 years old. I'm so lucky. You know what I told her? And you guys would probably understand this. I said, your strength, Brittany, comes from the fact that you were in the military. You can do whatever it takes. She was over in some pretty rough times from what I understand.
Yeah.
But I just, I got to take this phone call. Can you guys handle the show for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
Well, anyways, Tevin.
Congratulations to Brittany. I know when I
was
talked to her, she was very, very excited. She goes, yeah, I'm taking over. Because originally wasn't it just one Lori was going to quit or was retiring, and then they didn't know that both halves were, or there's like some back and forth.
From my time talking to them, they both hate the word retirement.
Okay.
It's more just they want opportunities to do other things like outside of work.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I mean, they're still going to be, from my understanding, probably involved with some Hubbard happenings here and there, just because of I mean,
right. They're
legends in terms of that, the My Talk brand. So, but yeah, no, it's awesome. Brittany's going to be stepping in there, kind of driving that ship 3 to 6 with Kendall, and should be a fun time. And who knows, in 25, 40 years, you and I can take over that slot.
Dude, are we next in line for the My Talk when Brittany and Kendall call it quits? I think that's how that works. All right, do we have to take a break yet or no?
We do, but Tom has to actually do some
actual reading.
script
Okay,
review,
well then we'll take
tell
a
you
late,
what.
we'll take a late break.
I'm going to call an audible here.
Okay,
I think we bring on Judd now, and then we can always do a mid segment break with Judd.
Let's do it
and come on back. So I'm going to welcome on Mr. Judd Zulgad of SKOR North. Judd, how are we this morning?
We're fantastic, unless you're a Twins fan, in which you're crappy because they got their drawers blown off again by the Yankees last night. I think it was 8-0 before they got a run. So those 5 runs are rather misleading when it comes to what the final score was.
For everybody that missed the game due to either just like lack of interest or cable not being provided for them. How did Royce Lewis do his second game back? We know he had a home run in his first game back, only second game of the season. So now he's 3 games under his belt. Did he kind of put the team on his back last night again or what?
Well, he hit a home run again, which is fantastic.
All right.
But by the time he did it, the game was basically done. So even Royce couldn't save the night. And here's the remarkable thing. So the 3 best teams in the American League alone, okay?
Yeah.
They're the Yankees, the Guardians, and the Orioles. The Twins are combined 0-13 against those teams.
That's incredible. And with the Yankees specifically, they're so bad. Judd, you're familiar with Mad Dog Russo?
Chris Russo.
Chris Russo, yeah.
God, yeah.
So
Yes.
yesterday, I'm in the gym and I look up and they have First Take on the TV.
Yep.
And Mad Dog does this little rant or whatever, like every Wednesday. And his rant was, how are the Twins so bad against the New York Yankees? And so we have reached that level of we're so bad that now the national media is starting to ask questions.
What's the record since like 2002 or 3? Let's see if I can find it here. I think it was in the story yesterday in the Star Tribune. I'm going to go old school here. I got the paper right here, okay? I'm going to see if I can find this quickly because
it looks like since 2002, we have a 42-106 record versus the Yankees.
How is that possible? How is that possible? The Yankees have not been, just to put this into context, the Yankees haven't been to the World Series since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't won the World Series since 2009. Okay. So it's not like the last decade has been, oh, you can't beat them. Now this team is very good again. They're really good, but they've been, if not down, they have certainly not been world beaters for the past, 12 years. So how are you that bad? That's improbable.
I can't think of, there's other teams that I feel like they could match up with, and you'd expect maybe like a division rival, probably like touts, being this like big bad baseball team that kind of runs the division. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been. The Twins have kind of been the mainstay like leader. You've had the Royals who had that little mini dynasty back in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. The Guardians have been up and down, and then prior to that, they made the World Series in 2016, so they were a good ball club then. But I feel like the Twins have always kind of been, first place, second place in the contention for a division title. It just doesn't make sense that the Yankees simply own them.
Yeah.
Every time they match up.
Well, and we're not talking 10 years even. We're not talking 5 years. We're talking 22 years. That's the remarkable thing. Everyone has changed. No one has left. And the one consistent is the Yankees kick the Twins' butts time and time again. The Yankees now in the 5 games. So the Twins are 0-5 against them this season. In those 5 games, they have outscored the Twins 28-7. And keep in mind, 28-7, okay? 5 of those runs came last night in a game that was decided by the Twins.
Yes.
So in other words, going into last night, it was 19-2.
Yeah. And
Two
yeah,
runs.
like you said, those 5 runs, it's a lot. Once you're already down, 8 runs and the game's over, it's a lot easier to just go, well, who cares? Let's just go out here and play loose and score those 5 runs. So yeah, those are garbage time runs. I don't even count those.
Yeah. So the good news is Pittsburgh's next, and then the Twins go on a streak of games against teams that they can thoroughly again, and they usually do beat bad teams. So I think they got the Rockies coming to town. I want to say the A's are mixed in. So, but it's just I find it very intriguing that the Twins are 0-13 against the top 3 teams in the league. You would think that they would have won a couple of games here and there, right? But otherwise, they're going to try again tonight. So we'll see what happens tonight, because if they don't beat them tonight, this is the last game. There is a possibility that the Twins will be 0-6 for the 2024 campaign against the New York Yankees.
Yeah. This morning, a little Vikings news here. Not news as much as just like a fan kind of stir up. Vikings unleash a new all-white Winter Warrior alternate uniform from the upcoming season.
They're sick.
I love them. You like them, Judd.
I
want to know your thoughts on this, because they've done the whiteout before.
Yeah,
a couple home games, but this is like now a mainstay alternate uniform.
It's one game for right now. I mean, it might be one or two. Look, I have a problem with if you switch your jerseys full time. Like if you guys recall the jerseys, not the alternates, but the jerseys that they were wearing during the time that Childress was coach and Favre was here were like Arena League. It was an embarrassment. I thought for the Vikings, I hated those. If you go back and look, they are not like they're the Vikings colors, but whoever designed those should have been laughed out of the room. I think these will be popular, but they're also not like going to try to wear them 8 times.
Oh yeah.
So and for the purposes of that game now, I think the team has started to establish a pretty cool tradition there with that. Now, if you do a whiteout for every single game, that gets to be boring. Timberwolves, hint, hint. You're like you didn't have to do that for every game, but I don't mind this. I'm most curious. I'm not sure about you guys to see the white helmets in action. Like it's hard to tell from static photos. So like when they're showing a player in a studio posing,
yeah,
I could sort of be like, okay, that might be good. But I think that jerseys come to life, good or bad, a lot more when they're actually worn in games. But for one game and for what they do, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. And like you're saying, the kind of the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day game, or that week tradition of wearing all white, I think, especially in Minnesota where you have not last year, but most years, a white backdrop on the city. I think it's pretty cool. And so I'm excited for it. The thing that's most important is, do they play well in these all white jerseys? Because then I love them. If they play like crap, get rid of them. I never want to see them again.
Did they lose last year? Because they went the all white. Now they didn't change, and I think this was because of league specifications at the time. They didn't change the helmets, which are now going to be white for this game. Mm-hmm. I want to say 2 years ago they did win. But yes, you are correct. The fate of these jerseys very well might rely on the performance.
All right. Judd, I know this is kind of a weird segment without Tom. I'm going to call another audible. If you don't mind, we're going to take a quick break. Then we'll come on back, do a couple more minutes of chat,
Sure.
and then send you underway.
You're the boss, Age. You're the boss.
You know, just we're throwing on the suspenders here. Calling the shots.
I can tell what you're doing, man. Nice work, guys.
All right. Hey, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. More Judd after this.
K&L Surplus and Ammo in Atlanta Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. We've talked about that before. You need the right firearm. Jim's the guy who can get it done for you. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in, talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Atlanta Lakes, open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
And I finally got back. I had to take a phone call there. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll see how it goes. 9 to 5, really?
Yeah, we
9 to 5, huh?
Yeah. Well, how about this stat I gave those guys before? The 3 best teams in the American League are the Yankees, the Guardians, and the Orioles, and the Twins right now are 0-13 against them.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So
season, but they will kick the White Sox ass from here to Sunday.
Correct. I understand that 100%. So here's the deal. Basically, I do believe it was the day after the first series of the year when I said, this team sucks. Remember that? And
oh, yeah. Oh, in spring training, you were saying that.
Yeah, in spring training. This team cannot play defense worth shit. They can't beat anybody any good. Yeah, they beat the really bad teams, but everybody beats the really bad teams. So, I mean, it's a situation where, we just, the team's not good. I'm sorry, but it's just not.
Well, I think what we're seeing is they are, very competitive against the middle and, of course, the bottom. But, yeah, against the best teams, I mean, 0-13 speaks for itself. You don't have to say much more. They've been outscored 22-9 in the 3 games by Baltimore. They've been outscored 28-7, and that includes 5 runs last night in the 5 games against the Yankees. And the Guardians in 5 games have outscored them 26-11. So yeah, against teams with good pitching or good teams, they are highly not competitive. Is basically what it comes down to.
That's exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of the season. They can beat the bad teams,
Yep.
but they suck against the good teams, and they have all year.
And if they don't beat the Yankees today, after we only asked for 1 win, they they will be 0-6 against them.
That's exactly
And they don't
right.
play again unless they meet in the playoffs. So, I mean, I don't know, man. They scored 5 runs last night, but it was as hollow as it possibly gets. I think they were down by 8 before they scored their first run.
Yep,
And then,
it was 8-0.
yeah, and then they make, there's nothing in sports that drives me more up the wall than a 8 rip, and then you come back and score some runs, and then the announcers try to frame it like, well, look at how they came back, and this might be a ball game now. No, you're down by 8. Okay, let's not get excited until you tie the score. I hate meaningless, as Tevin said, pressure off, and now we're gonna really show you what we got. That's BS. Drives me nuts.
I couldn't agree more. I just don't understand the whole situation. I was happy when they played the horrible teams. I thought, maybe they'll learn something. But I will tell you this, and it's not just the Twins. The defense in the major leagues now is horrible. I mean, I see people that should be making catches that don't make the catches. They're dropping balls. They're kicking the ball around. I mean, what the hell happened to the defense in baseball?
Some guys don't care about it, is what it comes
They
down
don't.
to. I mean, it's that simple.
Right. They don't care about playing defense.
There are still guys that are great, but defensively, but yeah, you're right. When it comes down to it, I don't, you know what? It's not really unfortunately, I don't think it's considered a sexy part of the game. And so it's not a priority for kids.
Yeah, I understand.
You want to hit home runs. You want to do things that are flashy. And I think the reality is the plays that you're talking about, Tom, are a lot of times not the flashy plays. They're the simple plays that don't get made anymore or don't get made, period.
Right. No, I just, it's too bad because like you pointed out yesterday, this is the only sport we got now for the rest of the summer.
Yes. Until those Vikings start training camp and we can begin to chart the passes of training camp practices, you are correct. And here's the thing is the Twins are in a very solid position to be a wild card team. But what's the hope when you literally have not beaten, you've not won 1 game. Like that's the thing to me. You haven't won 1 game against a team that is really good.
Yeah, that's correct. Not 1 game against a good team. It's just terrible.
It's 13 games. Let's say you had won 4 of them or something. Let's say you were 4-9. Okay. 4-9. You'd be like, okay, that's not great, but you have won 4 games.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing is just, come on. Really? This is what we got.
This is what we're saddled with.
Okay, that's
the
great.
good news is from here, they go to Pittsburgh and then they come home, I think, for a 10-game homestand, which includes the likes of Colorado and I think Oakland. And so you will be able to see them beat up on bad teams once again.
Yeah, boy, won't that be fun? Meaningless games. We can win all those meaningless games. Well, I suppose they all have meaning because it's a 162-game season still, isn't it?
It fools us, though. It fools us because
yes,
then we think, oh, hey, maybe next time they play. That's what I thought, this week. Maybe next time you play the Yankees, you can win. You got one more chance. One more chance to win one game. That's it.
Well, we'll see. They got to win today. Otherwise, it's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
0-14, and then you got 3 against Baltimore left. Now you do got a bunch against Cleveland, I'm sure,
right,
left, but still.
Right.
Yeah. At some point in time, I'm willing to bet that just because of the odds, they'll break through against Cleveland. But and the Yankees and Baltimore are really damn good, but that does not mean that you can't get a good pitching performance. That does not mean that you can't have an offensive explosion against like not all of these teams are running out Cy Young every start.
That is exactly.
Now you got me all worked up.
Oh, I got you. It's not the Twins.
You got me all worked up.
Yeah, it was me. It wasn't the Twins.
No, it's not the Twins' fault at all.
Yes, I understand that completely. It's not the Twins' fault
at all.
Twins'
fault. Don't blame the Twins.
Yeah, just could you put the knife in a little deeper? that a possibility?
Well, they'll try tonight.
I guess they will. I don't know. It just pisses me off that right now we got, looked like the Timberwolves were going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
They just ended up getting their ass handed to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All we've got are the Lynx, Tom.
We got the Lynx.
They're
That's
7-2, I guess. They've been playing well.
They're
It might
good.
be time to jump on that bandwagon.
But we know the women's teams can win. That's my beef. We know that they can win.
Yeah.
They've proven it. I'm not looking for them to like. It's not like I say, well, they should win because the men don't. They do win. It's the Vikings, it's the Wolves, it's the Wild, and it's the Twins. Get your acts together.
I
beat the Yankees.
One thing I'm disappointed in, and the most disappointing thing to me in sports right now.
Yep.
Turns out I'm the only person in America that hasn't punched Caitlin Clark in the back of the head. Why don't I get to hit her like everybody else?
She's
did?
coming to town at some point in time. If you want to spend a night in the pokey, I'm sure you can get your opportunity.
I'm hauled off in handcuffs. That'd be absolutely wonderful.
Oh, that'd be a great old school stunt, wouldn't it? Host incarcerate. Oh my goodness gracious. That screams 1986 to me, huh?
You think there's any case at all for the fact that if I did go to jail, I'd live as long as Jeffrey Epstein? Is that a possibility?
What would be the circumstances of your demise is the question if you're going to bring up Epstein.
Well, let me put it this way. If I go to prison someday, I might run into several of my old classmates from North High School, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, prison would be tough.
Prison would be
jail, short little jail.
Yeah, that's true.
Stay. I think you could make it. Prison, no, we'd have no. We had no chance.
Got no shot. There you go. So, I don't know. I'm a fan. I'll remain a fan for quite some time. And I'm talking about a fan of yours, not the Twins. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was my closing argument. What do you think of that?
I thought it was great. I will leave you with this. Since 2002, as we talked about earlier, the Twins are 42-106 against the Yankees since 2002. So 22 years. Tevin found that stat.
Tough road to hoe, man.
22 years of getting your ass handed to you by Yankees teams that at one time were really good, but have not been always good.
No, that's true.
Always great. So anyway,
there's a fear there. That's all I'm saying. Judd, a brilliant week is all I have to say.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, Pally. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you on Tuesday.
Thanks. Judd Zulgad, SKOR North, ladies and gentlemen, and I understand why he might be a little beside himself with this team because they just can't beat anybody any good. I mean, that's just a fact, right?
Yeah. I mean, right now they haven't really proved it. So,
okay, I'm going to pop K&L at the top of this and then just do the regular break with it. Correct?
No, just do Livia, and then we'll have the My Pillow out of it. We'll have K&L later in the show.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check. I'm glad I checked with you on that one then. Most definitely. But yeah, it was just an important phone call that I had to take and keep moving forward, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Now's the time to get a jump on summer. You could lose up to 20 pounds more in your first 8 weeks the Livia way. When you join Livia, you'll receive a personalized and doctor-recommended program tailored to your unique needs, goals, and lifestyle. Livia's amazing team of registered dietitians and nutritionists will guide you every step of the way. Join Livia today and get your first 8 weeks free. I got to tell you, I'm going over for the first time today to the Edina Livia. Going to meet everybody over there, have a nice time, meet the doctors, meet the representatives, meet everybody. I got on the scale today. I am 0.2 pounds from getting under 19 pounds to go, or under 20 pounds to go, to about 19.8 pounds to go. So to this quickly get to a point where I'm going to be under 20 pounds left to lose, it's just amazing. It's never gone this well and this quickly before. I've been on some other nice programs that they didn't stick around, though. Is that kind of, don't you wonder about that? There are these weight loss programs and all of a sudden they just disappear.
Oh,
I don't know why that would be, but they do.
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, Livia's working like a charm. Very, very nice people. Well, except for Carol. She's okay, I guess, but you know. Join Livia today and get your first 8 weeks free. Visit Livia.com. That's LIVEA.com. Call Livia, 855-GO-LIVIA. And Livia is now offering GLP medications, GLP-1 medications, of course. Quiet the food noise and see accelerated results by summer. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Start your weight loss journey now and get a jump on summer the Livia way.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank our listeners for all of your continued support. To thank you, we're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived. Won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98. Take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM and get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. 4-Day Work Week, Chris Egert. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Mr. Egert, so you got the big day tomorrow. How many shows you doing tomorrow?
Yeah, just to be clear, it's not a 4-day work week. It's an additional load of work on top of my 5-day work week tomorrow.
Oh, I was mistaken. I didn't realize
I'll be doing the job of 3 different people instead of just one.
I had no understanding of that situation.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, I understand completely. So, but in any case, I didn't watch the news this morning. I went out, I delivered we're moving. So I delivered every morning on my way in, I deliver a load to the house, the new house.
Smart.
And I got to retime it because coming in on Highway 100 at 7:30 is one thing. Coming in from west to east, not so great. The traffic is booming by 7 o'clock.
Yep. You start to hit that traffic then and you're pretty screwed for sure.
Yep. No question.
The big thing in the news this morning was there was a standoff overnight that started yesterday afternoon and lasted all the way up until this morning way out in Cochran. Weren't you at a farm out in the Cochran area at one point?
Right next to Cochran. I was in Dayton, Minnesota, actually.
That's what I thought.
134. Yeah. Right 144.
It ended this morning somewhere. There was a hostage. The person got out or was let go or whatever. And then the person came out and they shot themselves. But I don't know what that person's condition is right now. So that was all kind of playing out this morning, and that was our top story. So that's what you missed.
I don't know, man. When's the world going to settle down again?
It ain't.
It's just never going to happen. That's not good news. I want you to know that.
No. Again, we don't know what the circumstances were, but I know that since it was out in Cochran, it's not, it's rural-ish area. And so I think the Burnsville bomb squad had to go out there and deal with it because Cochran doesn't have the kind of resources to deal with the multi-hour long hostage situation. So right. I think there are a bunch of different departments that were out there with that. And then we had video of we've had all this wind the last, I don't know if you noticed when you guys are outside, it's insanely windy. So last night we had video of somebody's Ring doorbell camera capturing this big tree come down in South Minneapolis. I mean, it's like out of the movies. It just boom, takes down power lines and then lands right on these two cars right on the street. It's like, so yeah.
They have video of it too. I mean, I saw the video this morning. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it just, and if the wind, the good news with the wind, which it's going to go most of the day, it's going to help dry up some of all the rain that we've had, which might help with some of the flooding, but the soil is just so saturated, and it's been, we had some trees tip over the other day when storm system moved through too, like they just uprooted because everything's so wet right now. So hopefully things will calm down weather-wise here. It looks like they're supposed to for about the next 5 days or so. So that's good.
Yeah, it's going to be sunnier. I know that. That's a good thing. It's not going to be very warm today, though. Is it?
Not today. No, it's pretty chilly today.
Something like that, 65 or whatever it is. But
what else do we have? A cucumber recall.
What?
Yes.
Stop the presses.
5 people got sick in Minnesota from it. Like, it's actually, this is, you're just not, you shouldn't eat fresh produce is what this all just says. Like salads.
Where are they putting the cucumber? I'm just asking you.
It's been somewhere. It shouldn't.
Is that an angle? Is what I'm saying.
I know. Historically, when that usually happens, they don't get washed properly, or there's some sort of.
Okay, well, that's really good news for the rest of us. Yeah, no question.
There's some sort of, or they're irrigated with water that was contaminated. I know that happens a lot actually when there's salmonella thing on fresh fruits or vegetables. So anyway, and this is exciting. The Minnesota Zoo has 2 new sea lions.
Oh, that's nice.
They're just little. They're just tiny. They weigh 100 pounds right now.
That's little.
But when they're full size, they'll weigh 700 pounds.
Jesus. 700?
Yeah. You don't mess with those things. Hudson and Flynn are their names.
Oh.
Chris, I'm surprised you didn't lead with the news out of your neck of the woods. I mean, I guess in North Dakota, not South Dakota, but they found a little T-Rex.
Yeah, we had that this morning too. Some kids who were out dinosaur hunting last summer discovered some bones. They apparently had like a family friend who was a paleontologist, because of course they did. I mean, is that so random? I don't know if you guys have any paleontologists in your life, but they sent a picture to the paleontologist, and that person's like, yeah, those are dinosaur bones. So a big museum out in Denver came out and pulled the bones out, and they're of a juvenile T-Rex. They're calling it a teen T-Rex, and those go on display like in a couple weeks out in Denver. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys Tom, you ever spent any time out Western North Dakota?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's so pretty, but and in that, in South Dakota and the western part of the state too, there's so many fossils, and it's such a geologically cool part of the country.
Yeah, no question. Well, Teddy Roosevelt found that out.
Yeah.
No question about it. It is spectacular. What's so funny is the east side of North Dakota is flat as hell, and the west side totally different. It's really great.
It's the same thing in South Dakota. Once you cross the river, like it's the landscape is just so much different. And I'm gonna launch a volley, a rocket towards my friends in North Dakota with this one, but the South Dakota Badlands are far superior to the North Dakota Badlands, just to be clear.
Well, South Dakota is a pretty damn cool state anyway.
Their Badlands are
head
and shoulders above North Dakota's. I'm sorry I said it.
I just got 7 emails from listeners saying that you need
I'll die on this hill.
I will tell you something. When I was, I was probably 27, 28 years old. I had to go out and call on the radio stations out in Rapid City when I was at Capitol Records, right? I was in the Badlands and it began to snow. It was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen.
What? I guess, well, obviously it's, I guess, North Dakota, but like anytime I visited the Badlands, it was always the summer. I didn't even think that it snowed in the Badlands.
Oh, it snows.
You know, it does. It does. But that is,
blows my mind.
I'd say pretty unusual to be there in wintertime, though. Yeah, I bet that was pretty. I don't think I've ever been out there during the winter either.
I love that. It's pretty unusual to be there in the winter.
Right. What are you doing in the Badlands?
I told you I had to call on the radio. So was it KKDJ or something like that? It was KK something. I don't remember. It was the same family that owned a bunch of radio stations in North Dakota and South Dakota. But to stand there in the Badlands and watch it snow, which you hunyucks will never see because you're too scared of winter.
I'm going there this winter.
It's beautiful, man. I'm not kidding.
I bet it is. We went out there in the spring once. There was some snow around. It was like an early spring break, but not actually like standing in the Badlands watching it snow. I bet that's beautiful.
It is absolutely amazing. And I thought it was fantastic. No question about it.
Did you stop at the Prairie Dog City thing right there?
Oh, we all stopped at all that stuff. There's no question. What was a movie that? Now I can't remember the actor's name either. But it was a Western that was shot in South Dakota.
Well, there was a movie with Val Kilmer, and it was called like Thunderheart, or it was an FBI movie. It was really good in like
that
the
was 90s. A good movie. I'm talking about a different one. You're talking about a different one. That was shot all in the Badlands. Yeah, it was. It absolutely was, and it was. I love that.
How was it? How the West was won?
How the West was made.
Oh, yeah.
Underheat Dances with Wolves was also.
That's what it is. Dances with Wolves. That's the one.
Yep.
Because
Kevin
I was.
Costner.
That's exactly the one right there. Because I was driving through South Dakota, and as I'm driving by a farm, I don't even remember where the hell it was. Somewhere near central, South Central South Dakota, and there was a horse out in the pasture by itself, and there was a big sign over the highway that said, "The only horse that didn't appear in the movie."
That's funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
That is funny. That's clever.
I thought it was a great job.
That is funny. Really got your attention too. So there you go.
Well, that's the situation. I love your extended report since you're going to be lazy and not come on tomorrow.
If you listen, you will not miss me. I'll be on for 5.5 hours straight tomorrow on Channel 5. So if you want to get caught up with what's going on, just flip her over there.
We'll get it done, man. No question about it.
All right, guys, have a good weekend.
You too, Pally. Thanks very much. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. I do love working with that guy. Don't ever tell him I said that.
No, I'm gonna give him a little bit of slack tomorrow. I'll crack open the door of the TV studio. Hey, Egert, get back to work.
Yeah.
How'd you like to be on the air for 5.5 hours doing television? It's not like being on the radio for 5.5 hours.
Oh, no.
Being on TV for 5.5 hours, man, I'll take it out of you.
Yeah. And I'm just shocked that they don't have anybody else that can fill in for let's do a segment for Chris.
I sent an email to the head of TV at Hubbard, though, Tevin. I said, hey, I'm available. Tevin is available for that final hour if you want us. I haven't heard back, but have your suit ready just in case.
Oh, so I missed the cut.
Well, you're gonna do the opening. You're gonna do the voiceover.
Yeah.
Opening. Now it's action news.
I don't do their voiceovers anymore.
That's why we're gonna bring you back.
I did about 5 different times, but I don't do them right now. I don't know what that's all about. Whatever works out. That's all I have to say. We need to take a break. Be right back. We'll take a look at some news coming up. Got Sierra McCormick's going to be our very special guest coming up at 8:30. Of course, Kristen Burt at 9:15. A lot of good stuff coming. A lot of chicks, man. You ever call anybody a chick anymore?
Hey, great booking, Tevin.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think I've said chick in a while.
It's got to be years and years, isn't it?
That's an old saying, I think. Old phrase.
Well, you told me this morning when you came in, you haven't used the term Cleveland Indians in quite a while.
Yeah, no, I tried to get that one out. Although, because we're the Guardians now.
The Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of what is what I want to know. What is Cleveland Guardian?
The soup or the chili recipes. That's what
the chili recipe.
It's actually I think it's really stupid. There's a bridge. There's a bridge going over whatever lake or river, and they have these statues carved in, and they're the guardians of traffic. I'm not even joking about that. They're sculpt. Yes, it's the guardians of like traffic.
That's it.
That's it.
That's really not true.
The bridge thing is true. I don't, and then it's based off the Guardians. So
that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Anyway, they're one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Like I said, Tevin, the worst name for a team was in Pekin, Illinois.
Yeah,
that's the worst of all time, baby.
Might be time for a break.
I'm not going to say it. Don't get me wrong. I thought when I first heard it, and I'm very serious about this, I said, why the hell would they call their team that?
I know.
They said, what do you mean? I said, the Pekin Dinks? He goes, it's not Dinks, you dumbass. I'm like, oh, I misheard you then. But I kind of like the Pekin Dinks now because they're not very nice people.
Yeah.
Go that route.
Yeah.
Would be a better name than the one they used.
Much better.
Yes.
Don't you think?
There's not a lot worse.
Now, let's not forget when I went to North High School, the very first year at North High School, I think it was 1967.
Mm-hmm.
They rolled out a new slogan because it used to be, I don't know, Polar Power because it's, the North High Polars.
Yeah.
The black population did not like that because polar bears are white. So the slogan that year was, and I quote, bears have soul.
They got soul.
I am not making that up.
He's a soul bear.
Thank you. Thanks for including me in that. We'll take a break, be right back with more bullshit right after this. K&L Surplus and Ammo in Mine Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance and amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in to talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lyon Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone. That number is 763-757-2614. Or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I was just looking at this. This is my buddy Scott. Did you put him on here?
No, that was there when we got in today. At least when I got in.
Yeah.
Oh, was it really? Yep. It was nice of them. I'm hosting the deal. They don't even mention my name in it. You pill, Scott. Never talking to Scott again.
This is a bike ride guy, right?
Yep.
He went on a little stroll around the country.
Yeah, we're driving 4 hours up there to salute him, and Celebration Cycle. It's on June 15th, 2024. You can meet at 9:30, bike at 10 o'clock, and party at 11 a.m. Itasca State Park. day use area picnic pavilion. Scott has biked from Minnesota to Maine to Florida to California to Washington to Minnesota, all while fighting stage 4 prostate cancer. Come ride the final ceremonial ride with Scott in Itasca Park and celebrate with us after the party. See details, FAQs. There you go. And maps on the website, milesformoney.org. Benefits 0 prostate cancer. So, yeah, Scott's a great guy. His wife is much nicer than he is, but he's a good guy. I wanted to point that out. So that's a good thing, right?
Right. When's the last time you guys have ridden a bike?
Last year. I didn't ride my bike at all this year, which
Really?
was kind of weird. But, yeah, last year. I love riding bikes. But I tell you something, and I'm very serious about this. If you want to lose weight, walk 7-8 miles a day. Because yesterday we took the kids out, and the kids insisted that we have this gigantic breakfast. And then they went over and played the park for a while. And then we all had to have ice cream. And I'm like, I got on the scale because I walked 8 miles yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I lost 3/4 of a pound.
Jeez.
How? I have no idea because I ate like a pig yesterday. But I don't know. I have no idea why. Maybe I've got some disease and I'm withering away. Do you think that's what it is?
Maybe you're superhuman.
Yeah.
I'm superhuman.
Let's flip to the other realm. Let's not think about the bad. Let's think about the good. Maybe you're just a specimen.
Yeah.
You mean like a urine specimen? Is that what you mean?
No, like you were made in a lab.
Yeah, like
Captain
you just
America.
Yeah, you get to eat ice cream and lose weight while the rest of us suffer.
Suffer mightily?
Yep.
You suffer mightily? Is that the problem? No, I just, it's, well, what are you going to do? That's all I have to say is what are you going to do? So what's anything good? I haven't even checked this yet. I'm really kind of glad that I didn't check it at all because the complete sheet has some really good stories. They do a good job on stories, don't you think?
Yeah.
They've really mastered the craft of cultivating enough interesting stories.
Now, what is this? Kids these days think selling out is a good thing. Gee, well, they've been watching our politicians. Is that what they've been doing? They've been watching Biden and Trump and all the other lying bastards out there. I mean, that's one thing you got to say. And I don't care if you support Biden or you support Trump.
Mm-hmm.
These are not the most ethical people I've ever seen in the presidency. I got to be and maybe none of them ever have been. I don't know. I don't keep a close eye on that, but they say things that I just love that. I just like to point something out, and I'm very, very upset about this. I got up this morning, and I understand it's only going to get up to 60 degrees. And if that's not Trump's fault, I don't know whose fault it is. And then on the other side, you get this, yeah, it's going to be 95 degrees today. You can blame Biden for that because, they're blaming everything on each other. It's hilarious. God, there was a discussion, and it wasn't much of a discussion. Only one guy thought I was a pain in the ass doing it, but I talked about we have got to learn to stop judging people. We don't have the same lives. We need to come together and meet in the middle, or this is only going to get worse. And if you let people like Biden and Trump lie flat out to you, you're helping to create the problem.
Yeah.
These people, and again, I know Donald Trump. I've met him. I think it's a great coincidence that the only president I've ever known might go to prison. But, other than that, it's very clear.
He just is like, every day he goes to court, he's just like, Tom Barnard, you did this to me.
It's Tom's fault.
It's
There's
all
no
his
question
fault.
about it. Yeah, I just stop lying. And the news is worse than the politicians. The national news, I just, if it weren't for this guy, things would be just a lot better. Well, our guy does a magnificent job. Why does everything suck then right now? If they're doing such a magnificent job, everything sucks.
Yeah, that's what we really need to have is we need to save all the clips that lead up to the election of everybody going on how, XYZ president is going to fix the world.
Yep.
And then, a couple years in, let's bring everybody back and we'll replay the clips and how do you feel now? And like, if you can't go, oh, you know what, maybe I was wrong, then maybe you don't get to keep your position in the news media anymore. You gotta hold them a little bit more accountable.
What was that governor of Louisiana's name again? I can't remember, but he said one of the most bizarre things I have ever heard. This is 50 years ago, probably. It's got to be you'd know the name if you saw it. It was like back in the, God, I don't know when, maybe in the 50s, 60s, something like that. He was the governor of Louisiana, and he was running for re-election, And his campaign slogan was one of those most obnoxious things I've ever heard. We'll look for it. We'll try to find it. All right.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find one for the 50s. Do you know what the slogan was?
No, I wish I could remember, but it was like literally vote for me. You're a dumbass and you're going to get your ass handed to you. I don't know. It was something like that. But we do have to take a break here because Sierra McCormick's coming up right after this. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Landon and Gavin Miller of D&B Plating.
I've always been impressed with their speed of answers to our questions, and that has allowed us to expand and capitalize on opportunities in the market.
North American Banking Company has never made us feel like a number. They've always treated us as a partner.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Evening Meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings 8 to 9:30 or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at TomBarnardShow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
No doubt about it. Sierra, ready to go?
Sure is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sierra McCormick with us. Sierra is starring in Edge of Everything. It premieres on video on demand and leading digital platforms tomorrow, as a matter of fact, June 7th. The Edge of Everything, straddling the line between childhood and adulthood. 14 isn't an easy age for anyone, least of all Abby, played by Sierra McCormick, who's forced to find her way in the world after her mother's death. Did you call in because we share one thing in common? At least your character and I share one thing in common. What do you think?
Oh, what is that?
My father abandoned the family and then died when I was younger than that. So what do you think? I should do a movie, Sierra.
Yeah, you should write about that. You know, you could provide some catharsis and make an interesting movie.
No question. You know, I actually looking back, Sierra, on being 14 years old, because it was weird. At 11 years old, matter of fact, I might have been 10 years old. I grew to 6'1" and weighed about 215 pounds when I was in like 6th grade.
Wow.
Something like that. But the problem with that, Sierra, is Halloween, I would knock on doors and by the way, my voice dropped to where it is now too. That's the other part. So I walk up and I'm not trick or treat. They all go, get the hell out of here. What are you, like 25? So it's been a rough road, Sierra. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's been a rough road for me, too. To give you context, I was so short. I was so small. I was about a foot smaller than almost all the kids in my class for years and years. And I was in a booster seat until 8th grade. So you can imagine how awesome that was for me in middle school.
I know somebody going through that right now. She just has not grown yet. And it might be 8th grade.
Essentially, Yeah, it did for me. Eventually, I steadily got to about 5'2", and then I just stopped. But at least I got to 5'2". I thought I was going to be a lot shorter.
Yeah,
but my benefit, I can trick or treat forever, probably.
Well, I'll come with you. I'll pretend I'm your dad. Hey, give her more candy right now. Let's go.
Split the candy. Yeah.
More
We'll
candy.
split the loot.
God, I was just looking at your docket. I mean, this thing's unbelievable. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Criminal Minds, Supernatural, Monk. I love Monk. Curb Your Enthusiasm. And you put on everything.
Yeah, I did a lot of network TV as a kid, and I'm very grateful for that now, especially because that's what sustains me a lot of the time is all the network TV I did when I was a kid, because love doing indie movies, but they're not famous for being great paychecks. So doing all the network TV was a blessing.
Oh, see, I didn't know it's over now because I looked at your picture. I thought you were still about 14.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you.
No, you look very youthful. That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it is. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, especially at this point in my life.
Well, good.
For an actress, that's great.
It is indeed the edge of everything, premiering on video on demand, leading digital platforms. That is tomorrow. Edge of everything. Tell us about it. I love these stories.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you love coming of age movies, then this is definitely one for you. So the film follows Abby, who I play, as she navigates that precarious moment between childhood and adulthood, that sort of adolescent on the cusp moment in your life. She's 14, turning 15. She's exiting middle school, entering high school. And if that weren't horrific and awful enough, she's also dealing with the loss of her mother, and she's navigating intense grief as she learns to kind of live with her dad, who she hasn't been close to in years, and his new girlfriend, which causes some friction and kind of leads Abby to, seek out some friends that maybe get her into some activities and substances she's too young for, and leads her to make some decisions that don't reflect a fully developed frontal lobe. But I feel like that's what being 15 is about.
And I agree with you. I think about 95% of people on Earth have not a development in their frontal lobe. I think that's absolutely. Isn't that what you just said, Sierra? I think it is.
Yeah, that most people don't have a frontal lobe.
I don't know. I just think these stories are very, very special to me. I grew up very, very poor. And I mean, a pretty rough neighborhood. My dad just abandoned the family and then died very young after that. Whether it's your character, did you go through some of this in your real life?
Yes and no. So I did go through, some of that, just navigating that shift in your life and that change that you're going through.
Yeah.
But I had kind of an unorthodox childhood and adolescence, particularly because I was a working actor for all that time. So what actually was something that was appealing about hopping onto this project was the opportunity to sort of vicariously, perhaps through Abby, give myself some of those experiences that I felt I missed out on when I was younger. So I got to have some of those very classic teenage experiences by way of this movie.
Really? See, now that's a wonderful point to make, because we talked about this during the break a couple of minutes ago, that I'm sitting back and I'm observing, and I got to be honest with you, Sierra, I don't hate anybody. There's nobody on earth that I hate, because I wouldn't give up that much emotion to anybody anyway. But I do think we all need to move toward one another, move together. And the reason for that is we're having a great conversation, but you and I went through completely different things. Some of them parts were similar, but as a woman and as a man, we go through different things in different ways. And I wish people would understand that. We could have gone through the same thing and handled it totally differently, because we're not the same person. And we need to understand that about human beings. We're not all the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, if someone could gain one thing from this film, I would want it to be empathy for those going through that moment in adolescence. And if you're going through it particularly, then having some giving yourself some grace during that moment. I wish I was kinder to myself when I was navigating adolescence.
Yeah.
So if I could impart one thing upon people after watching this, it's to be kind to those going through that horrific hormonal change. And if you're going through it, then to give yourself some grace, because it's hard,
That's a very good point. Not only you only got one more minute with us, but I do want to ask you about that. How did you think you handled being a childhood star? That's got to be tough. I mean, it's got to be hard.
Yes, it is in some respects, for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely opens you up to certain kinds of experiences and criticisms that you wouldn't necessarily have not being in the industry. But at the same time, it was something that I desperately wanted to do and something I had to beg my parents to do. And through all my observation and all my ripe 26 years, I would say that kids that are forced into it definitely have a much worse time. And so every time I did have to miss out on those typical, childhood or teenage moments, graduations, birthday parties, sleepovers, school events, that sort of thing. It was because I wanted to, and it was a sacrifice I was willing to make and I thought was worth it even at the time when I was so very young. So I think I had a better time navigating it maybe because it was always something that I wanted to do. And I genuinely loved being on camera and I genuinely loved, the moments I had working. So it was an easy choice to make for me.
That is wonderful. You're very even keel, Sierra. I admire that. Thank you so much for your time today and come back soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sierra McCormick, ladies and gentlemen. Sierra starring in Edge of Everything premieres on video on demand and leading digital platforms on June 7th. Yeah, we're just talking about that over the weekend, about how people just don't understand that we don't all live the same lives. We have completely different takes on things because of the way we grew up and all the rest of it. Everybody thinks, well, they grew up just like me. No, they did not. I mean, honest to God, watching people who've lost a mother young, lost a father when they were young, that they were close to, losing grandparents. All I give a rat's ass about mine. So I never knew. But anyway, no, I mean, very, very seriously, people are going to have to learn sooner or later. Stop listening to the national news and our politicians. Just live your life and treat other people with respect because you have no idea what they've been through.
Yeah. And even with her talking about, because I was very curious as well about like her being a child star and then kind of transitioning to now being an adult and how that goes, because you hear so many horror stories. And so she to have that kind of other perspective of, no, I loved being a child star because that's what she chose to do. And it wasn't something that was forced on her by her parents where she hated every moment of it. So that's always nice to kind of see the other side of things as well.
I was curious about that because I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of her work at all, but she's a terrific actor.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
she
we actually
is,
had Jim Cummings, who wrote and directed Last Stop in Yucca County. She was in that film. We had him on a month ago. So, I mean, she's been busy. She's been very busy.
And Ant Farm for like I think it was on 3 seasons, was huge on Disney Channel amongst like little kids and stuff. So yeah, she was very well known.
A lot of range too, because she's also done like American Horror Story, and she's now doing like this kind of like coming of age piece. So it's in big range.
Well, I mean, one thing I was talking to Brittany about this. Why Brittany and I get along so well. She served our country, and she was really good at it. That's why she is who she is. I mean, she grew up the way she was and all the rest of it, but she's a very strong woman, not in a bad way. I mean, she's just a very strong, very pleasant woman. But Tevin, I think the reason you and I hit it off immediately is because you and I went through the exact same thing in 2 different states, 2 different skin colors, 2 different ages, but we went through kind of the same thing because you had family members coming and going in your life as well, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't meet my dad till I was like 18
there
years
you
old.
go.
And it was over the phone. And yeah, I think the first time I met him in person, it was like at a Popeyes in Louisiana.
I love it.
He gave me $300, and then I didn't see him again for like another year and a half or something like that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You and I get along well because we did go through the same kind of things. I had two great uncles and an uncle murdered. I mean, to go through that, do people understand? They didn't all live that, Whispering Acres lifestyle where everything went perfect, and you still bitched about it because you didn't understand what really bad could be. Be more understanding and not even just giving, not forgiving, but giving. But I think that's why you and I hit it off right away, because you're one of how many black kids were there in your town?
It was me It was Chelsea and Lincoln.
There you go.
There's like two. I think there's Travell and Carl, who were like 10 years older than me. And Carl, quick story, was the reason I had an afro. Me and my mom were in the drive-through at Dairy Queen. And like you can, as we're pulling up to the window, you can see the car in front of us, and the guy reaches out and hands them whatever they have. And he had to stick his whole head out the window, and his afro was just massive. And I was like, yep, I want to be like that guy when I grow up. And so that inspired my afro.
Do you have any pics of that? Because I need to see.
Oh yeah, there's some digging or around somewhere that I can dig up. Yeah.
Okay, we got to take a break because Kristen Burt's up next. But I did learn one other thing this morning.
What's that?
That if I ever get a chance to vote, I will know how to vote on who the worst singer of all time is in a rock band.
Uh-oh.
Any opinions?
Oh, who is the one that you hate? It's not Bon Jovi.
No, it's not Bon Jovi.
Mick Jagger.
No, not Mick Jagger.
Damn it.
Bon Jovi's closer to the kind of band I'm talking about.
But once you say it, I'm gonna be like, damn it.
Horrendous singer. How and they had hits. People apparently liked it.
Is this a tease, or are we going to find out right away?
I can tell you right away if you want to.
Yeah.
Should we get Kristen Burt's reaction?
I want Kristen to be a part of this.
Because I feel like she'll be opinionated.
Well, no, not Kristen. Are you sure? All right, we'll be right back with Kristen Burt right after this. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Landon and Gavin Miller of D&B Plating.
I've always been impressed with their speed of answers to our questions, and that has allowed us to expand and capitalize on opportunities in the market.
North American Banking Company has never made us feel like a number. They've always treated us as a partner.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabanco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Yes, it is. Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Okay, so we waited for you to come on. I don't know if you're listening or not.
Oh, yes. I have opinions.
You do have opinions. On the way into work today, I was listening to a rock station and I heard a song. It's a very famous song. I said, that guy is the worst singer I have ever heard in my life. And who would that be? It was a rock song, got an edge to it.
Kiss, Gene Simmons.
I don't mind. Well, I know Gene, so I can't. Even if he sucked, I wouldn't say, because he's a good guy, actually.
Okay.
He's a nice man. Oh, to some people, because other people hate his guts. But other than that, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think of like who this would be, who has like a really less than stellar. Oh, Tevin, you have it. Go.
I think I have to just. Is it Bruce Springsteen?
No, but he's right up there. I'll tell you that.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan's another one. Even though I love Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan, I love them, but they're not good singers. What's that face you're wearing?
I'm just trying to think. I'm like, who's in that realm of like they captured a lot of people, like Bryan Adams or something?
No, this guy actually sounds like he's puking when he's singing.
Oh.
I could sing you a line from the song.
Yeah, please do.
When I close my eyes at night. You know what song that is?
That sounds like a lot of songs.
Are you thinking, what is Guns N' Roses? Are you thinking of Guns N' Roses?
Oh, but you're getting closer.
Sebastian Bach from Skid Row?
It starts with an S, but it's not Sebastian Bach. The name of the group starts with an S. And I close my eyes at night. Oh God, it's just terrible.
Why am I drawing such a blank here?
I'm not sure. Is that a tune? What's the melody?
That is the melody. I'm here to tell you.
Can you sing it a little bit more? Do you have more?
I can't remember anymore. I was going to hang myself if I didn't listen to any more of it. No, but
Sting?
Again, no, not Sting.
No,
Not bad.
Sting. Is the name of the group with an S or the name of the singer?
The name of the group, it starts with an S and ends with an R. They're not.
Oh, they're not like that big?
They're not that big. You will know who I'm talking about, but they're not that big. But somebody's going to have to look it up and just play a little bit of the song, don't you think?
We have to tell us who it is first.
Well, I understand that, but
John Mellencamp?
Nope.
No,
sorry, Chad, you're wrong.
Sorry, Chad, you're wrong.
Little Diddy, that's Jack and Diane. He's not bad.
Is it?
No.
Oh, okay, I was going to say.
Okay, you ready? You got to look up the song immediately because I can't remember the name of the song though. But I think they only had one big hit. It was a big hit, but it was only one. Okay, the worst singer I have ever heard in my life is the lead singer for Slayer.
Well, you could have given me a million guesses. I don't think I would.
I never would have guessed that.
Okay,
what
could you
song
look
is this?
I can't remember the name of the song. They only had one hit. It starts with "When I close my eyes at night."
I feel like there's no shot that I'm looking up the right Slayer.
Is it
Slayer's like
a heavy metal band?
Yeah, I know, and that's.
But in the 80s, a lot of the death metal bands had like
Yep.
a good. Was it a ballad? Because they did
Yep.
the heavy metal
Yep.
ballads. Is
It
it the
was
one
horrible.
when you close your eyes? Do you dream about me? I don't know who sings that.
That's actually singing though. You're not even close to how he does it.
Is that the song though?
Is it a one? I think it's a one word song title for the song. Slayer.
Well, a lot of their songs have very positive kind of vibes to them.
This is
We've got Raining Blood, Angel of Death,
not it.
Dead Skin Mask.
Dead Skin Mask, man.
Dead skin mask sounds like a bad facial.
My personal favorite, Mandatory Suicide.
Yeah.
Yes, none of those. They tried to do a ballad and it didn't work.
Like look up Power Ballad Slayer.
Power Ballad Slayer. There you go.
Tell you what, I'll look
in
it up.
80s they were called Power Ballads.
If I find it, I'll play it, but no promises because there's a lot to go through.
Got it. Somebody's got to know what song that is just from the brilliant job we did of singing the first line. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, somebody out there knows exactly.
Somebody
As they're
knows.
screaming at their,
They're
I guess,
like,
radio
it's this
phone.
song. Why can't they get it?
I think it's a one word song. I don't know.
Who was
I
the
don't know.
lead singer for Slayer?
I have no idea.
Because I
Sounds
feel like they weren't like in the 80s, there was like the Skid Rows and the Guns N'
Yeah,
Roses. So
yep.
Slayer was like just below that level of fame.
That's exactly
Motley
right.
Crue obviously was huge in the 80s.
Right. Righto, man. All right, so we'll figure it out at the very end. Somebody will come up with it. One of our listeners knows that.
Somebody please help us. Because we're all singing into a microphone, and I'm not sure any of us should be singing into a microphone.
Why shouldn't we be singing? God,
and I what song am I singing? When you close your eyes, do you dream about me? Does anyone know what song that is?
But you're actually singing, so you're ruining it. No, I'm giving you a compliment.
Thank you. I mean, I'm off key though still. But I don't know who sings that one. I don't know what that song is.
I think it was.
But you kept on saying "Close Your Eyes." That's why.
Kristen Streisand. That's who it was.
I think, Kristen, are you singing "When You Close Your Eyes," the song by Night Ranger?
Maybe that's it. Do you dream about me?
Yeah, that's what the lyrics come
up with. Do you dream about Night Ranger? And then they did Sister Christian, all the time has come.
They're horrendous.
And it's about like a girl in a all-girls Catholic school, just for their excuse to put a girl in a Catholic school uniform in the music video, and she was like rebellious.
Oh God.
Yeah. The 80s were like, oh gosh, like some of the music videos.
That when I went to Catholic school as a kid, there was a couple of years where the boys never had to wear uniforms, but the girls did. Isn't that amazing? The boys never had to have uniforms, but the girls did.
That's
what
crazy.
That was all about.
Yeah, we had uniforms, like not everyone wearing the same thing, but like girls had to wear dresses on certain days. Guys would have to wear ties, but you're like, why can't you wear pants? Like, why can't we wear pants? It's cold. It's New England.
Oh, that's true. Good point. You had cold legs. No question about it. All right. So what else is happening, Pally?
Well, I want to ask AJ, because yesterday was a big day in Trader news, and we got a few Survivor cast members joining Traders season 3.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Carolyn is the only like new age Survivor player to join the cast. She is pure entertainment. I don't know if I haven't watched Traders yet. I hear good things, so maybe I'll have to catch up.
I would highly recommend at least watching. You can skip season 1 if you want to. Just dive right into season 2 because it was an all reality show cast.
Perfect.
And it was so well done and such a great strategic game played by a few people that I think you should be excited that there's a Survivor players on here.
Oh God, yeah. And then I love Boston Rob. That's like one of my favorite Survivor players of all time. Tony, who I think won Survivor Kagawan. That means nothing to most people, but really good. It's a good group of people because I believe they had Parvati on last season.
She was good.
Oh, she's the best. She might be like the Mount Rushmore of Survivor players. Like
the Mount Rushmore.
And Boston Rob, I would put him in the Mount Rushmore of Survivor players too.
I think so too. Like they'll just so iconic. They transcend seasons. Everybody tries to model their game after like the super fans that we see now get casted. So I'm looking forward to Traders. They got me. Who's the host? It's Alan Cummings.
Alan Cumming, and he is so delightful because he just plays this campy character. So even though it's a reality show and he's a host, he gets to act, if that makes sense. Awesome. And it just kind of plays into the whole mystery of being in Scotland in a castle and people are getting murdered one by one. Well, it's such a great strategic reality show. And the way it's done, it originally came out of the BBC and then they brought it over here. But honestly, for like a reality show where you're actually doing something, you know what I mean? You're not just like, oh, I'm sitting in a house and just talking about nothing. You have to figure out a game and you have to play some type of strategy in order for this to play out if you want to survive until the end.
Unbelievable. I can't believe not one listener's called in to tell us what that song is called. That's amazing to me.
I'm not sure we have the actual melody.
That's how he sings. I'm just telling you. I don't know what his name is. But...
Are you thinking that you're hitting all the notes in your head? You know what I mean?
No, I'm not thinking it.
I'm not sure it's coming across.
Oh, so I'm the failure.
No, you're not the failure.
Player.
But I think if we had the full melody, we might get the song.
Yeah, somebody could find it. That's like, what the hell's the name of that song? Whatever. Never mind. Let's get back to your brilliant report.
Chris, if I wanted to catch up on past seasons of Traders or is it called The Traders or Traders or what is it?
Traders.
Where can I find past episodes?
Peacock. It's a Peacock show. Yep.
All right.
So definitely, it's really fun. I know we talked about it a little bit from last season, but I'm excited. Boston Rob, again, I think is going to bring a lot of the drama. And for anyone watching Vanderpump Rules, Tom Sandoval, like the evil cast member from that show, will be joining. And I have a feeling he's going to get voted out early because nobody seems to like him anymore.
Well, that makes sense. There's no question about it. No doubt about it. You know.
The Sandoval of Scandoval. That's what we call him in our house.
Really?
Well, he slept with his girlfriend of 10 years, his best friend, and then it played out on a reality show.
Yeah. That's all I have to say to you, sister. What do
But
you
it
think?
became a pop culture moment. That's what happened last year. So,
It did indeed. Anything else good going on?
well, I'm really curious because I know we have Tim Lammers coming on tomorrow. This really is the do or die week for Will Smith with Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die. So I'm curious to hear Tim Lammers' review of it tomorrow. It's getting decent reviews so far. I would say, like a solid B type of movie, but are people actually going to go to the box office? And Will Smith needs people to go to the box office because this is his comeback vehicle. And it's something that people know, people like. It's done well in the past for him. He's been very cautious in his press promotion of this. Most of them have been with Martin Lawrence sitting next to him, so they don't ask about the slap and Chris Rock. However, according to a lot of the reviews, there are quite a few slap jokes. So I'm curious to see how that is received by fans.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I would imagine. Anybody finding anything?
Nope, I wasn't able to find anything, but yeah, we'll keep looking and hopefully have something.
I haven't been able to find any lyrics that match that by Slayer, unfortunately.
Are we sure it's Slayer?
Yes, because it came up on the readout on the screen in the car as Slayer.
And the song title didn't come up?
Yeah, but I forgot it.
What station was it?
104.
Okay.
And they played it about an hour ago when I was driving in late for work. Then I had to take a phone call for 20 minutes during the first 20 minutes of the show. So it's been very smooth all morning.
It's been a great day.
Yeah, it's been one of those. I have those days once in a while where nothing goes right. It just doesn't. You must have those, don't you?
All the time. Like more often than I would like to admit. Where you're like, this is going to be a great day, and then everything goes south very rapidly.
Well, and Sierra agreed with us that 95% of people have no frontal lobe. She even admitted it.
We had Sierra McCormick on last segment, who is got a new movie coming out.
Yeah, she's got a new movie coming. Nice. She's very, very nice person. No question about it. All right. Well, I'll never bring up Slayer again. I've ruined the show.
Now this is bugging me. I'm going to spend the rest of my day.
I know, because now I'm like, I have no idea what this song is. Now I'm like, I just need to hear it.
Spend the rest of my day listening to Slayer. Just
it has something to do about dreaming of her, and that she's.
My Spotify is going to be a mess. The algorithm, because now it's going to start playing Slayer. We're going to be like, that is Tom Bernard's fault.
It is my fault. There's no question about that. And
I just want to mention, because today is the 80th anniversary of D-Day, in case anyone is a history buff. There's a lot of great programming on TCM tonight. Has now I'm blanking. Showing Saving Private Ryan. So if you haven't seen that or want to watch it again, TCM will be airing it. History Channel has D-Day, the unheard tapes. So they have some reenactments from some of the actual tapes that they have from the archives. And then also kind of a World War II situation, Hitler and the Nazis. Evil on Trial is a docuseries currently on Netflix. And it is some of the Nuremberg trial tapes that haven't been heard either. So if you want to dive full into World War II, you've got it.
Do you have an actual number? Because there are several veterans that are going to be on that one of those shows. They got to be like 110 years old, for God's sake.
They are. I just saw a red carpet clip of Tom Hanks speaking to a veteran, a D-Day veteran. And I mean, he was well over 100 and really amazing. I mean, Tom Hanks has done a lot for World War II veterans. I know he's obviously done a lot in terms of film and things like that, but he's a big history buff and shows a lot of respect for them.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I do like Tom Hanks. He's a very talented guy. And is he a nice guy?
He's a nice guy. He's
What I
he's
hear.
someone who keeps his darker stuff off the radar.
Well, it's not a bad idea.
Do you have inside knowledge of darker stuff?
Well, he's had like, I would call it like a lost weekend or like a lost month. He and his wife, Rita Wilson, had a little falling out. And Tom Hanks, a lot of people forget this actually happened. He wound up having a fling with Jennifer Goodwin, which everyone is always like, what? And she was like 24 at the time, and he was in his 40s. And they started showing up on a red carpet, making out like they were like Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie, which is really random. And then allegedly, Rita Wilson saw the photos, and she was in Greece at the time, like just taking a sabbatical and finding herself. And she called him and she's like, get over here. And he showed up in Greece and they reunited. And that was the end of Tom Hanks and Jennifer Goodwin. And that is Hollywood gossip history.
Good for those kids. That's all I have to say.
But if you want to Google the photos, they do exist of Jennifer Goodwin and Tom Hanks on the red carpet. So
Marvelous. All right, sister. We'll talk to you on Friday tomorrow.
Tomorrow, which is also Daytime Emmys Friday. I got a big Friday planned.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Bye.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So we got nothing. Huh? We never did find it.
I've had a couple people suggest, like I'm getting stuff all across the map. Sarah just hit me with Seasons in the Abyss has Close Your Eyes in the lyrics, but I looked that up and not much else matches. Like that's a little heavier.
Is that Slayer? No, this is a ballad. It is a ballad.
Okay. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong
song. How about we look up Ballad by Slayer? Did you look that up?
I did, and
nothing happened.
I got a couple songs, but nothing that Close Your Eyes in it.
Maybe I dreamt the whole thing. I fell asleep at the wheel on the way in. That's what happened. We'll find out. All right, fellas, we will talk to you tomorrow. The family shows up in about 15 minutes.
Talk to you then.